All right, so we're here with Kristin Messerli. What's up? How are you?
Hi.
So you're a millennial, but you are regarded as the expert on Gen Z. Why would you say that is?
Expert on next gen, so millennial and Gen Z. I've just been surveying and interviewing them since before Gen Z was really a thing, and then I just started interviewing them as well. So yeah, I've surveyed over 6,000 millennial and Gen Z consumers now.
Why do you do this? Like, I feel like is this like a passion project, or is it just like, look, this was my job,
Yeah, that was curiosity, and it helped inform my work. So I would work with lenders and companies and building strategies to reach millennial and Gen Z consumers, and I needed to know what they thought, So that was really how it started, and now it's continued to inform my work.
So you said something also interesting in that regard, and I've seen, I would say, the opposite online as far as surveys, that, hey, where did you find your lender? Where did it come from? And I think that there's a stat that says 0.1% of people come from social. But then you brought out some stats that say, hey, where did you find your lender? Number one's friends and family, of course, but then the number two is videos.
Yeah, so that one was, where do you go for information about personal finance? And that was fascinating. It was friends and family at the very top, not surprising, but video was right below it. It was, I can't remember it's like 75% and 72%. Wild.
Why do you think there are stats available that basically, it says social media is garbage and a waste of time, but then there's stats like this that says, this is where people are going for information, like you need to be there. Where's the disconnect between the old school mentality and then the new school?
I mean, things change really quickly. I'm curious what your thoughts are on that, but the data shows that people are going to TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, they're going places where they can engage with other individuals so that they can get a multitude of information, I thought this was kind of crazy, and then I thought about where I go for information.
Right.
If I'm curious about, I'm like, something's broken or I need to find out information about something, YouTube, right away,
100%.
Yeah.
Or I'm randomly scrolling, and then I see something that's interesting, and then I maybe save it or I watch it again, like to learn whatever the heck it is.
Yes.
And I learned stuff about home ownership, all of it from. It's kind of crazy to think that this is something that you should just pass on.
Yeah.
Well, I guess why does the older generation? I'm a millennial too. Why would you say the Gen X and more so the even older generation of is it boomers? Is that it? Is it okay to say that? I feel like that's like
it's not a bad thing to
term.
say. I mean, Gen X and boomers, they had their own experiences. I mean, you think about how much has changed as millennials.
Yeah.
I'm constantly like, Gen Z is wild. They're doing crazy things. It's shifting all the time.
Completely different, yeah.
Yeah. So I think it's hard to make those changes so quickly. We think about where we were around making payments or Amazon or all of that kind of stuff changed really, really fast, and the same thing's happening with social media.
Right.
And so we have to constantly understand where consumers are, and that's where data, is important.
I mean, we grew up with a lot of different things, but same with Gen Z. I mean, they're growing up with smartphones. We grew up with, corded phones.
Yeah.
And I mean, the internet, there's just so much that's changed. So FirstHomeIQ, look, I guess we know what it is in a general sense, but why should a loan officer not pass on this? Why should a loan officer, first off, learn about what it is and why it's important, and then why should someone sign up for it?
Number one is we need this as a society. We need to have an impact on the next generation. We can solve for the financial literacy crisis if we come together as an industry. Number two, if you don't have a first-time homebuyer strategy, you're missing the boat. So, I mean, the FirstHomeIQ really provides both of those elements. We can have an impact together, and you can reach more people. You can have better content, education materials to reach that first-time home buyer. So those are the two.
So how does it affect the bottom line? I think that if you look at it from a CEO standpoint, like, okay, look, it's dollars and cents.
Yeah.
Why is this going to bring me revenue?
I would say it really is important. If you're working with first-time home buyers, then you need education resources.
Yeah.
So it's taking away that cost that you would have to spend on your own or your marketing team. We are that extra person on your team providing those materials. Their education material presentations, their marketing resources, social media content, everything you need to be able to share that message out there.
I mean, if you get a closing from it, which you should, if you're leveraging it properly, it pays for everything.
Yeah.
The First Home IQ Quiz. So
Yeah.
I think that this is the coolest thing that has happened with it. It's gotten the most attention, certainly. What is it, and should a loan officer take the quiz? What's it all about?
It's really fun because it's a 25 question. I'm actually going to cut it to 20 questions, but it's a robust way to measure your understanding of buying your first home, and even people that have bought a home find education from it. But it gives you your right and wrong answers at the end, and so you're educated while getting your score.
Yeah, that's awesome. So if somebody wanted to sign up, where do they go? What do they do?
Yeah, if you want to sign up or just learn more information, you can go to FirstHomeIQ.com. If you want to take the quiz, you can go to FirstHomeIQ.com/getmyscore. And would love however you want to be involved in First Home IQ, just take the quiz, share the quiz. That's a great way to educate people and have an impact very easily.
And look, I'm a founder friend. I believe in the product. I believe in the mission. I think is the better way to say it.
Yeah.
And you definitely got to check this out.
And we are a 501c3, so it's tax deductible. It's we are mission first.
There's the bottom line right there.
Yeah.
There's where it comes from. So, Kristin Messerli, everyone.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. That was great.